Hello there folks, welcome back to a Chap Reviews. My name is Ash and it is my task to give you the objective review of a movie from the point of view of an ordinary British middle-aged guy. And today I went to see The Smashing Machine. Now it was a film I've been looking forward to for a while because it looked to be a film for which there was lots of action and I knew the actors participating in the movie quite well, so it would be interesting to see how this movie played out. Now in essence, right, without giving anything away about the plot, it is an American action sports biographic in which it takes us on the story, which is a real life story, of a very early pioneer of the ultimate fighting championship, mixed martial arts, no holes barred style of fighting, which has become an enormous industry now. But it takes us through the life of a man called Mark Kerr, who, as I say, was quite a pioneer. And it follows a 3-year period of his life, 1997 to the year 2000, in which his life unfolds in front of him, offering opportunities and enormous challenge. Now, the actors taking the roles in this movie are the ones which I think are really holding this film up. And of course, we're all kind of aware that it is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson who takes the role of Mark Kerr in the movie. Now, The Rock, or Dwayne, whatever you want to call him, he undergoes quite a physical transformation to play this role because he has a facial prosthetic and he wears a hair system, basically a toupee or a wig, which actually, although very subtle, renders him really quite different in appearance. I wouldn't say unrecognisable, but certainly it makes him sufficiently different from his normal visual appearance to allow you to suspend belief and forget that it's The Rock for a little while. In fact, whilst watching him playing this role, the thing that kept me bringing me back to the fact it was The Rock was his very distinctive voice. But besides the point, I mean, in the movie, he plays Mark Kerr, and in essence, he plays the role of a troubled sportsman. And he appears to be this rather sweet-natured, rather quite lovable character when we first meet him. You know, he talks to children. He is just really quite seems to be a decent fellow. But then you have to juxtaposition that with the fact that his day job, in essence, is this brutal gladiatorial sport that he's participating in, which in essence involves him beating 7 bells out of the opponents that he meets in the ring in these very brutal and bloody fight scenes which are brought to life on the screen for us. So that's kind of where we are with him. His girlfriend is played by Emily Blunt, English actress who has clearly mastered the American accent, and despite being, I think she's 42 years of age, in this movie, she easily looks 10 years younger. She's glamorous, gorgeous, and vulnerable. And that's a very important part of this role. So what we get to see are these two main characters going through a 3-year period in their lives, in which Mark Kerr, The Rock, sort of participates in a number of matches, and then he goes to Japan in order to participate in a sort of knockout gladiatorial competition called Pride, for which there is a huge cash prize at the end. Now, kind of this story takes him over a number of years. It incorporates his first loss in the ring, which sends him off on a bit of a spiral, but also his struggles to deal with substance addiction, which is brutally played out on the screen. And to be fair, I wasn't expecting such depth from The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. He actually masters this role rather well, of course, as an ex-professional wrestler and a man with enormous physical stature. I mean, he's in fabulous shape. I mean, the man is over 50 and his physique is something which rivals, men 20 years his junior who are involved in active bodybuilding. There is nothing to say, but, he is impressive on the screen and looks like a dangerous monster, when he's in these fight scenes, which of course comes from his experience as a wrestler, I've no doubt. And we see his life going forward. What we also see is a little bit of the relationship problems which he has with Dawn, the character played by Emily Blunt, his girlfriend, and how they have their ups and downs as she struggles to watch him dealing with addiction and also, being involved in a sport which involves two men trying to kill each other, basically. And we see a couple of instances of these annual pride battles which he's involved with, and how that all pans out. I'm not going to tell you how it pans out, but it's not what I expected. I would go to say that. And it's a good ending, a happy ending. When it comes to the performances, The Rock, as I say, superb performance. Many people are saying that he's certainly going to have a shot at maybe something like an Academy Award because of the depth of the character which he plays here. Well, I don't know whether I'd quite go along with that. I mean, he's not going to come across as one of the greatest actors of all time, but certainly in this movie, he carries off the role. And I can't actually imagine any other actor being able to fulfill the role of Marquet in such a way as Dwayne Johnson did, because he is cut from the same cloth as this man. He's been involved in, fight sports. He's the perfect man to play this role, and he does it rather well. If anything, I think Emily Blunt, who is a superb actress, particularly in this movie, she's underutilized. I mean, there was so much more I think she could have done, but obviously the script kept her in the position of just really supporting girlfriend role, who goes a little bit off the rails from time to time. But, it all comes together rather well. I thought there was an excellent score for this movie. It certainly, because it's set in the late 90s, the music, the overlays which are in many of the scenes, it took me back to that period because, I was very much in my late 20s, early 30s then, and I remember it, and it took me way back there. I felt like I was in that era. And much of the camera work involves, like handheld cameras following the characters as he's walking around. You get a really, almost like a documentary style feeling to it. And again, I think it brings it to life. And for me, I really enjoyed this movie. I didn't know anything about Marquet. I know nothing about Ultimate Fighting or anything like that. Yet I found myself quite heavily invested in the movie. The fight scenes are brutal and bloody. The sound of punches landing, the crunching of bones, it's all in. It's all in there. There's lots of blood, there's lots of gore, but this is the real life of as these fight scenes were back then. So it's all brought really to life on the big screen. And for I don't know how long it was, 2 hours or so, I was all in. I enjoyed the movie. I was at the edge of my seat at the fight scenes. I enjoyed watching the characters' lives, be unfolded for us and how it all worked out. And for me, this was one of the best films I've seen this year. I'm going to give it 4 bowler hats out of 5. An unusually high score, because for me, I find so many movies are stuck in the sort of 3 out of 5 zone, maybe 3.5. But this one, I'm going to give it a clear 4 out of 5, because for me, it just was a really good film. And it didn't have to have the big name stars in it. I think the actual quality of the script and the story being told would have been just as good if it was other actors. But having possibly the one actor who could pull this off to such a high degree as Dwayne Johnson playing the lead role, well, it just nailed it shut for me. So for me, a great movie. I think you'll enjoy it, as I certainly did. And I hope you've enjoyed the review. Don't forget to subscribe for the next ones, which will come along hopefully every week. And I'll see you again very soon.